We don't know much about Troy. But they
Right.
throw the ball.
Oh yeah. All right. The end.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding,
We're
guys.
just messing.
I haven't been able to watch them. I don't know too much about them.
But we do play Troy this week.
We do play Troy, and I mean, I'm glad I'm not on the coaching staff because we'd be screwed and we'd probably lose.
Yep.
But enjoyed my trip to Gainesville, but now we're back here. We're ready for Troy. Really just don't know what to say. I know they throw the ball a lot, and that's just not something that we're stopping very consistently. I'll say that we're not consistent.
Right, because we do stop it from time to time.
But
we played Florida, and we stopped it, and we stopped it against Alabama. They had a couple plays, but we're not consistent with it. And there was some rumors that there was a couple different meetings going on with the safeties and the defensive back. So maybe they fixed that, and maybe they fixed the problem finally. 10 games into the season, they figured out what was going on. But better late than never.
Yeah.
Especially, we've won the East. We're coming down the stretch. We've got Troy and Clemson left. Like I said, Troy can throw the ball, and I would expect them to do that. We've got the #1 rush defense in the SEC. And it's weird that we have such a bad pass defense because we're leading the SEC in sacks, which is totally
weird.
I mean, that's odd, but that's just the way football works. But they're going to be throwing the ball, and we need to be ready because we've already won the East, and we've got Clemson the week after. And this is one of those middle games that you've seen teams overlook, and all of a sudden you look up and there's a couple minutes left and you're down trying to score to win, and it happens all the time. So we definitely need to stay focused for Troy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no doubt. I kind of look at, I mean, it's like you said, it's a trap game, whatever. But, I mean, I don't think that we're going to overlook them. I mean, I hope, this week in practice they hired someone to walk around with a bullhorn just to yell Kentucky at people, I mean, just because you beat, a #1 in the nation or you win a division title or whatever, it doesn't mean nothing, All that matters is the week of practice that you had before the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters now is how we approach this week, and I hope we, come to play. I mean, I don't want a close game. I want not saying that I think that we're a 50-point favorite or anything like that.
Right.
But, I mean,
I think the line is 23.
23. I mean, I want the game to be where I'm never feeling like we could lose this.
Right.
That's just how I feel that this game should go. I think they're gonna score. I mean, I'm gonna tell you they're gonna score because they throw the ball, and that's just not our forte of the things that we stop. I mean, but I mean, I'm not gonna say that they're gonna come out and they're gonna have a Ryan Mallett type quarterback that throws all over the place. I just don't see that happening. But they're gonna get yards, they're gonna get points. But I kind of feel like our secondary has it's like they have a new life, and I think that they're going to make some plays too. I think there's going to be a lot of passing yards for Troy, but I think they're going to probably make some mistakes and take a lot of sacks and throw some picks and stuff because we applied a lot of pressure last week and it was very effective. So I think that we should keep that game plan. Lots of blitzes. Antonio Allen he just crashes into quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, watching him blitz. It's great. They should bring him a lot, and he just comes relentless and just crashes into whoever was playing quarterback last week. So I think he'd be, probably one of our key guys for this week. Bring him on a lot of pressure and everything. Just disrupt the passing game, and I think we can. I think we'll get some turnovers and get some sacks, and I think we'll be in good hands. I'd like Lattimore to get. Probably a good first half in. I want him to get 100 yards, to get him, I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to have another 40.
Yeah, no, he doesn't need a 40-carry game. But, I mean, he obviously puts in the effort, and he deserves, to get, some 100-yard games. Because, I mean, when you look back at his stats, he's had a lot of big games, but he's also had games where it was like we just kind of gave up on the run and he didn't get the carries, and that's just not what we need to do. I mean, I would like for him to have another 100-yard game because, besides when we played the big three, I mean, none of his yardage games have been that big.
He's been around 80 and around that number.
But, I mean, he has such an impact because the defenses have to, scheme around him.
Oh, they definitely scheme around him. And the scary thing about Lattimore is if he can get an extra half-second burst, he's going to be unstoppable because there are so many times where he's busting through a hole and gets tripped up at the last minute, or somebody is able to ankle tackle him, and if he gets over the summer, gets another half-second speed, I mean, he's going to be busting some big ones.
Oh yeah.
And the good thing I think this year is even though this is kind of a funky game, I do think we have some young leaders on the team that in previous years we didn't necessarily have. I don't think players like Lattimore and Jeffrey and Garcia are gonna let people forget about Kentucky.
Yeah.
And let people overlook this game because it is an important game. I mean, it's an extra win. Yeah. People said that the Arkansas game didn't mean anything. Well, it did mean something because it counts as a loss.
Yeah.
And this game will count as a loss if you lose it. It doesn't just go away. So. It counts as a win, and it also gets you prepared for Clemson next week, and you can use it as a time to maybe run some different plays for Clemson, to practice them in game situations. So it's definitely an important game.
Oh yeah, I mean every game counts. I am not one of these people that like to look ahead at all. I mean I want to win every game, and I want to win by as many points as I possibly can. I don't care. I mean I don't want to pick on Division II schools and all that stuff. Right. I don't think that's right. I wouldn't want to run the score up on Furman or anyone like that.
Speaking of run the score up, you see Wisconsin had 83 points.
Yeah, I mean that people are like, oh, that's unsportsmanlike. No, it's not. I mean, it's your job to set a team out there to stop him, and you can't do it. That's your problem. I mean, I'm not saying that go for 2 every time or anything like that. But I mean, these are just a bunch of kids working hard to get playing time.
You can't tell your third string running back to not score.
Yeah, I mean. Now, if you leave your starters in and you're winning by 80 points, that's kind of classless. Yeah. But I mean, as long as you've taken your starters out and you're getting players in there that have worked hard, they deserve they deserve every opportunity. And I think that will happen this week. I think some of these guys will get some carries. I hope Maddox gets a lot of carries. I mean, the commitment level of that guy is just unreal.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's a senior this year. He's worked his butt off the entire time he's been here. Probably hadn't gotten the carries that he liked to have had over his career, but he has never complained one time. He worked last offseason getting a little faster, and it shows because when he's in the game, he looks like he's running, with an extra little bit of jolt in him this year, and it's good to see a senior like that go out. The thing you get with these games is a lot of times they're close for about a half. But Troy just doesn't have the athletes to stay with South Carolina. They don't have the speed to hang with our players, and it doesn't matter if our defense is really playing bad or not. They don't have the speed. They can't keep up with a team like South Carolina for very long. So I'm like you. I mean, I expect it to be maybe fairly close first quarter, second quarter, but I expect after halftime that we'll kind of kick it into gear, and by then, just like Furman or any of those other teams, they just get tired and they just can't hang.
Yeah, I mean, I like that we have this game before Clemson. I mean, I want to win the Clemson game so bad, and I think playing a team like Troy, that doesn't get much recognition, but still is a quality football team. I mean, I don't know the record or anything, but I would almost guarantee you that they're bowl eligible. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure they went to a bowl last year. I mean,
and it's not like this is a team that you have to do a whole lot of scheming for, but you do have to prepare a little bit. So you're not having to bust yourself the week before the Clemson game, but it's not like you're taking a cupcake either.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about this game is it's a game that we should win, and I like it that we're going to get some more in-game experience for people. Just get them more reps for the Clemson game, more reps for the title game. I mean, all games count. It's like I was saying in the last video, we have a chance to go to the Sugar Bowl or as low as the Peach Bowl, maybe even lower. So every game counts. I mean, they wouldn't take a 1 or 2 loss team, to the Peach Bowl. And the last time, I remember when LSU lost the SEC championship and they fell all the way to the Peach Bowl, and then I kind of felt like that was crap. They beat Miami by like 40 points that year in the Peach Bowl. It was kind of unrealistic, but it could happen to us. So we need to win these games. We're not guaranteed any bowl. It's if they like us or if they don't.
Right.
So this game matters. We need to put 100% into this game, And I think, like you said, kind of work on some new things too, because I mean, practice is great and everything when you're, trying to establish new things.
Right.
But nothing's going to replace game experience when you do something. I mean, like, the wild cock or wildcat, whatever you want to call it, with Gilmore. I mean, running that, in Clemson, I mean, it worked pretty well.
Which
but
we haven't done that this year, and last year we put them in during the Clemson game, and they had no clue what was going on. I mean, we scored in like 2 or 3 plays because they had no clue.
Yeah, I mean,
so if we want to do that next week, I mean, it might be a good time to get them some little practice this weekend and some in-game experience.
Well, we ran it one time this year in Southern Miss.
Yeah,
right.
One time.
Was it even one play? I remember I had to get up
play.
to go get my mom nachos or something like that. I missed it, but
I mean, it was one play maybe at best. So definitely use it as a. I mean, you don't want to show too much, but definitely use some game time to practice some things. So
I mean, this game is, in my eyes, is what you want to do is you want to come out early and show that you have the game under wraps. Get players that maybe don't get as many reps. You want to get them playing time, and you want to give Clemson a look at like all the different things that they have to prepare for. I mean, you don't necessarily want to show all your trick plays and stuff, but you need to show them that Lattimore's not our only playmaker,
right?
Or
Jeffrey. And it's cool because they could even run the rock out with Gilmore and not even use it against Clemson, but they still have to scheme for it because they've seen it.
Yeah.
So it takes up their time scheming for something, whether we use it or not. They start to prepare for it just in case we do. But I think in the end we'll win this one no problem. If I had to give a score prediction, I'd say maybe 36-15, something like that, maybe a little more. I think they'll hang early, but in the end we'll just have too many playmakers and then probably get some backups and some time. Connor Shaw will probably see a little bit of playing time, Maddox and whatnot.
I'd probably say about maybe like a 41-13, and probably with that, maybe a couple of scores really late. Probably like maybe 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
Right.
Probably we're in a situation where we get them, down, and all they can do is pass, and we pick one off, take it to the house or something like that. Something that doesn't normally happen for us. Something like that, like just a game-changing play that it's just unexpected to just kind of break it open. But I mean, I'm excited for the game. I hope that we win, and I mean, I think we should. I think we will, but I mean, you never know.
But that's why they play the game.
That's why they play the game.
And believe it or not, this game will be on TV.
Yeah.
On the SEC network, so any game is on TV these days. So watch it. It should be a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it's football. I mean, who doesn't love college football? I mean,
if you don't love college football, you're not American.
Pretty much. I mean, go watch baseball or something. No one cares about that.
College football.
Number one. But,
so is America's number one too.
Yeah. Gotta love America. And once again, congrats on the East. And I'd like to give a shout out to Justin King 224 on YouTube for making great Gamecock videos. Y'all should check him out. And I figured since maybe if I gave him a shout out on YouTube, maybe he will make more videos and show that people are watching his stuff, because it's really good quality stuff. I'd recommend everyone to watch it. And, I'm probably going to go watch it after this video because it's so awesome.
So check him out. Thanks for checking us out. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week for Clemson.
Who sucks, by the way.
Yeah, they suck.